Paper was invented in China and it has been developed and perfected in this part of Europe because of the water, which was quite good for this.
In Europe, we have experience of making papers for artists for centuries, and today we take all of that level of experience for artists and bring it to the art of fine photography. Epson approached us because they wanted to build a new family of papers of highest quality.
We use the purest raw materials we can find. Cotton is giving to the paper a very sensual feeling. It is also giving the sheets better resistance to tearing, and it also gives a better rendering for the artists.
Epson is very demanding, but that's in keeping with who we are, creating products that are of the highest standards and highest quality.
All the raw materials we are using are lignin-free and acid-free to ensure the longest longevity to our papers. At the beginning, we have the raw materials. We are mix them in the pulper. This is a mixing chest. That's where the pulp is stocked and still mixed so that we can bring it to the paper machine to manufacture the sheets. At this stage of the process, you can feel what the paper will become and you can see how the pulp is loving the water. Shaking the pulp is exactly the same as it was made before by hand when shaking the paper to manufacture the sheets. In fact, this paper machine is just the adaptation of what was made before by hand by people to manufacture the paper. At this stage of the process, the paper is on the wire and it is beginning to taking the water off the paper. And then you have the dandy roll, which is improving the homogeneity of the paper. Just like we used to make handmade papers, the next step is to press the paper in order to give them a texture. So then at the end of the process, we roll the paper and it is now ready for inkjet coating.
This particular facility was built in 1871 to meet the needs of fine artists. Then we developed Baryta papers for traditional darkroom black and white photos. That was the first time when we were able to bring the tradition of fine arts papers to photographers. Today we still produce these Baryta papers and we bring it to inkjet technology. Epson had very demanding needs for their legacy papers, and they wanted to marry the tradition of fine art papers with the latest technology of inkjet coating.
Now we have very sophisticated coating lines for producing fine art papers and matte-coated papers. The curtain technology ensures high consistency, which is very important for the Epson legacy papers. After coating, we dry the inkjet layer by using our air flotation dryer, which has a length of about 50 meters. And this gives us a very high grade of consistency. One very important quality control is the inspection. We do it in different kinds of light: fluorescent light, daylight, underneath light. And we also do physical tests. We measure thickness, we measure the tint of the paper, we measure stiffness. So we have many specifications which contains at least 200 different parameters which are checked to be in specification. Only if a paper fulfills all our quality demands, then we can call it Epson legacy paper.
It gives me and my people great pleasure to know that these papers are used by the great artists and great photographers.
With Epson legacy paper, photographers can experience the tradition of handmade paper with the highest quality and consistency.